Yeah.
Дуже дякуємо за цей дизельний генератор, який допоможе врятувати не одне життя пораненого військовослужбовця. Дуже вдячні особисто Брендону і команді госпітальєрів за всю допомогу, яку вони нам надають. Разом до перемоги! Слава Україні!
Героям слава! Thanks everybody who donated again to this brigade. It's been, I think, 4 diesel generators, but the funny thing is the Peters blow them up, so that's war. But we'll keep supplying more generators, and I like these guys, so thank you. So that's pretty much an empty truck. It's like security block post.
Yes.
Block post Brandon. Fucking hell. Thank you so much.
So everything there I just dumped is at the brigade I've been with for 5 weeks. It's been a very calm 5 weeks for me. I haven't had 3 serious 300s. I've done taxi work, bringing guys to hospital appointments, people with like long-term problems, and that's all kinds of stuff that I have, that Dmitry has. My friend Tilda, who works for a Swedish organization that brings stuff over here, and you know, she's like a fairy godmother. I'd love to do a video about her, and you know, she struggles for people to listen to her back in Sweden because, quite frankly, she doesn't have a penis. But you know, guys like me and Swampy, we wear the uniform, we got a gun. I guess that's good for social media. But you know, Tilda helped me last night, gave me 2 stretchers just because I needed them. I'll make a quick video I did for my Instagram. Thank you Blue Gula Billen. Thank you Ukraine Express. Thank you Heal Fund. Thank you International Aid. This stuff's important. But you know, sometimes I don't film the generators that I fund out of your money because it feels kind of inappropriate, because like somebody just died, or you know, or they're busy, they're tired. Yeah, it's important, but like some of the donors, because I'm not as dependent on donors of organizations, because I've got you guys. Just passing the truck there. Ooh. You gotta film shit to get more shit, and right now my friend Rebecca is really stressed because people are saying give me this stuff, but like maybe she had 11 people die yesterday and that was the easiest bit of the day. But I think those guys don't seem to understand this. They say they understand the war, and they do, more than most people. But so anyway, all that stuff I unloaded with 28th Brigade, they're gonna store it for me. Not one thing will be touched. I gave them a cool Czech grenade, cause you know, that's cool. But they will watch that stuff for me. I'll go to Dnipro, I'll get 4 more generators. I'm gonna bring 3 to Rebecca. I'm gonna bring another one to that company who's storing my stuff, because they haven't had one of our generators yet. And they deserve, who deserves? Everybody deserves. But I'm gonna start throwing every resource I have, which is not just a decent Kazovac, my social media, my funding, my ability to get stuff. I'm gonna start throwing all that at my friend Rebecca, and I'm gonna work for her. And what I can film, I can't film, I don't know, because that unit's pretty shell-shocked, and they've had some bad experience with foreigners, war tourists, whatever. But they trust her, and she trusts me. So I'm just going to film a bit. Now, on my trip to Dnipro, I'm going to Maxime, who's going to do my oil change. He doesn't charge Army a penny. You just bring him the parts, he does it. I'm going to go see Valentin. We've given him generators, Dnipro Motor Help. He's got no less than, I think, 200 tourniquets for me. I'm going to get that shit to Rebecca. I'm going to empty the car. I'm going to go back further towards Bakhmut. I'm gonna get all my shit, I'm gonna bring it to Rebecca, and it'll be what it'll be. So this is a bit of a different video, but yeah, the last one was a lot of people, it'll never get the 200,000 views, but the one that's gonna upload tonight, Bakhmut and Soledar, the stuff we couldn't show, That's got everything in it to get 200,000 views, to get more followers, to get more money on a bigger scale. Just like the Bakhmut Now video, Bakhmut medics waiting for the inevitable. That video's got 205,000 views now, and a lot of nasty comments too. But you got to take the good with the bad. Fuck them. But yeah, I'm on my way to Dnipro, so we'll just get there as quick as we can. We'll do what we got to do, and I could be with Rebecca within 24 to 48 hours.
You can really see there's the babushkas down there, and this is where the road gets really nice. Look at them potholes, you know what I mean? Gotta go around that one. See, they've got the suspension you really need. Look at them, they just fly. Their ambulances are awesome. 93rd Brigade had a few of them. You know, like Bald and Bankrupt always says, I'm going to make that my new thing. And I'm looking at a Donbas apartment building, you know, and look at that, Donbas mud. And a Donbas dedushka on a Donbas bicycle. You know what, Brandon, be yourself. Bald and Bankrupt Benjamin, he's already taken. That's why Johnny likes me, because I don't remind him of bald. People ask all the time, and he don't remind me of the war. And this is another thing about Donbas etiquette. It's perfectly okay to drive on the wrong side of the road if it's the better, well, it was the better patch of road. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, if you don't have a head on. But here we go. It's nice, isn't it? But I mean, this is Pokrovsk. It's not the nicest place in the world. But they're nice people. We got two of them. And that's another thing I love about dogs. Especially the further east, they've got their own culture. They travel in packs, but they're friendly as could be. Yeah, they just got more character. Not more than my little Masa though. Nobody does. The one thing I do like these log houses. You know, you see the way they make them. You see them all over the place in Donbas, other places in Ukraine, but they're just a rectangle, nothing to really go wrong with them structurally. I wouldn't mind having one of those with indoor plumbing. I think those are always quite nice, personally. But there's two ways through, and these brick ones are quite charming too, like this. Anything basically that's not grey, I'm down for. But there's about two ways through Pokrovsk that I know, and this is the better road of the two. So yeah, it's a nice place. Yeah, real nice, Brandon, real nice. Another thing you kind of see these pipes. So I'm going to assume they don't have indoor plumbing, but these are all gas pipes from Soviet times, because a lot of things are gas run. Gas is cheap, and it's cheaper than digging it into the ground. Apparently gas was so cheap, I heard in Soviet times, someone told me, that they would leave it running all day long, and like that'd be heat for your house. Hey Sabachka, look at that hug and a kiss. A bit of Donbas romance as well. But they do maintain it as best they can. They can afford. See, nobody's taken down the Soviet monuments. That's been agreed, so I'm told. You know, that's part of their collective history. There was a movement. They want to take down all the Great Patriotic War from 41 to 45. They want to take all that shit down. But and this is quite common too. You know, you'll see that in Kiev, all over Ukraine. Paint the side of a building. Muralists, like Sibir, but that's not the kind of stuff Sibir would do. So here we are. Maxim is the hardest working man in Ukraine. I'm going to make you a star.
No, I don't.
Dopomoga Maxim. Oh, you have GoPro. Look, I found Ukrainian Jesus. Oh God. Thank God for Lithuania. Are you sure you're not from Donbas? Это... Maxim gives the best customer service in Dnipro. You come here to get your car fixed, and you're fixing someone else's car. Welcome to Ukraine!
Дай сюда гаечку просто.
But I don't do any work myself. Anytime I try to use a spanner, I break things. It's worse than before.
You break.
You see me trying to change tires.
Yes.
The girls in battalion, they change tire faster than me.
No, I don't agree.
You think I'm good?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. You guys should have your own TV show. Can I put you on my YouTube?
No.
No, please. I'm doing a video about a really fucked up day. That's how I pay for all the generators, you know. I can black out your face like Spetsnaz. I love this. I put more in because I am not warm. Sergey.
Слава Канада! Слава Україна!
Slava cannabis.
Истина.
Канада и Украина рулит.
Хорошо.
Сережка, давай. Обнял, Сережка, пока.
Пока-пока. Now I'm gonna get my oil changed. Oh, look at the love.
Еду.
Well, it's time for me, baby. Oh, so it turns out I'm not next. All right, let's do this. Was? Let's see what we got here. Very good. Oh, look at that. Bit of Luhansk mud. The old girl's still going though. Actually, it's probably one of the best trucks I've ever had. Not as much power as the Land Cruiser, but it's got a hell of a lot of torque. Okay. It's whatever you think is best.
Nissan Pathfinder, Nissan Navara, Mitsubishi L200.
Yeah? You have Pajero here as well? L200? Clutch. Beautiful. What are we going to do with what are you doing with all the metal? You sell it to the gypsies?
No.
We do that in England. Hi, Maxim. What? Что? Hold on, I'm coming. What are you laughing about? I'm scared. I'm fucking scared.
Be careful. Look,
What is this?
I don't know. But
It's dead now.
yes.
Oh, what is this? I had leak in the ball joint there. It looks like sweet, but it does not taste sweet. Doesn't taste like brake fluid, I can tell you. It happened like a week ago. What is it?
You have, I don't know how it's English, прокладка.
Prokladka, it's broken.
Yes.
But I can go another month. Maybe.
Yes. You see?
Mm-hmm.
This is gum.
Yeah.
Тривога. Пройдіть найвище укриття.
But you think I'm okay one more month?
I think yes.
I think so. This stuff.
Любой.
New boy.
Patrol and
And the Land Cruiser. But I don't think. I think the suspension.
you see?
Both of them.
It's my son.
Wow. He's fucking cool. Was this when they come back to Ukraine? Or this is in Poland?
No. They was here 1 week.
Because Alina told me.
Yes, this is our airport.
Ah. Cool.
And
Awesome. I did that when I was a kid too. We go to the air show and they let you get in, but I'm not smart enough to be a pilot. Maybe your son can be a pilot. Wow.
my wife.
Beautiful. Well, we sort all this mess out and they come back. But it's best they're there.
You can tell them something.
They speak any English? Your family?
Yes.
Dobre, I try. Jag Brandon, Drew, mój brat, Maxim. Jag kanadski volunteer hospitalieri. He helps me all the time. He's your father is like mechanic, is like doctor, like likar. Because I drive ambulance and 300 evacuation, evacuacja 300. Your father, he's a hero too. You should be very proud. It's your bedtime and your father is still working. I hope to meet you someday in person.
Thank you.
I do. Now I know Mom, I know Alina, I don't know your parents yet, but I will.
You know my mom?
Your mom here?
Yes.
Yes, of course I know your mom. She feeds me. I know this.
Father, mom,
No, I never meet your father. Not yet.
maybe.
Here goes the black gold. Oi! Yes, it's time for oil change.
6 liters.
Oh, it's 6. Is this heavy?
Yes.
Almost beautiful if you didn't know it would cause cancer. Maxime, I want to tell you my favorite joke. How do you know a mechanic has just had sex?
What?
How do you know a mechanic has just had sex?
He has dirty.
2 of his fingers are clean. I tell this with Google Translate to all mechanics and they understand right away. I've got a bit of gold in me every now and then. Čo, normal. Normalno. Fucking normalno. Yeah. Dirty?
No. I have dirty feet.
I know you. Yeah, you've seen plenty of dirty ones. Here,
You
let
want
me
to see him?
let me dip my thing. Okay, go on.
Андрюх, принеси, пожалуйста.
Where did it come from?
From that Nissan.
From this.
Yes. Не-не-не, он, по-моему, сзади или где-то
Yeah, but I take.
за ящиком.
I try to take care of my cars. I drive like Dedushka. I only drive 110. You know. I give you 50 grivna. Lick. 50 grivna.
Вот полтос заработал.
These Ukrainians, you cannot defeat them. That is like brand new.
That filter.
Yeah.
He don't change this filter 5 or 6 years.
And he wonders why he wonders why his car is going fucking. Oil's the one thing you can do.
His car is dead.
Yeah.
Almost dead.
I know a good place to send cars to die. You go east about 4 hours. You just keep going east. Prema. It's like Jim Morrison. This is the end. Dun dun dun. My only friend, China. But it's okay. It's
Iran.
empires have to die.
Every empires are dead. because so big.
It's too big. Like, keeps you going longer. You know this? You do know these things, you dirty. There's sex shops in every town in Ukraine.
Что анекдот рассказал.
Yeah, you're horny people.
Как узнать, что после царя был секс?
Yeah.
У него золотых
I need
пальцев чистых.
I need bigger though. I need bigger. I don't know if they're laughing at me or they're laughing with me.
Anymore.
It's a virgin. Like Madonna, touch for the very first time.
Ага.
Like a virgin. I don't know the words. He's just drunk. He's drunk.
Сильвер, вот вообще не в тему.
Gotta have a General Motors. You could have a Ford. You could have a Dodge. Quality American products like the M16 and the HIMARS, because we want to kill Peters. We don't like Peters.
Хаймарс is jam?
It's American. Amerikansky.
General Motors?
I don't know. Maybe. I think Boeing. We want to kill communists and Peters.
Nobody like them.
HIMAR makes the Peters go boom. We're from Texas. Or Detroit. General Motors. Right, so we're back here again. $43 tonight. It was 1,600 grivna. So, like I said, shit is standard. And look at this handsome guy here. Do you know when you smell, you're not sure, but you smell something, you're not sure what it is, and then you smell for like an hour or two, and then you smell later, and you're like, is that dog shit? I think I smelled that down at the reception with the girl there. So, we'll see. There's definitely not shit in them treads, because shit sits in thick. So, well, there might be a bit in there. So, not my normal pose, but when I edit every video, I have a lot to we just lost power. Hold on. There we go. We can improvise, can't we? Yeah, I was really glad I got to show Maxime. When I met him with Casey in the summer, we were at the Auto Bazaar in Dnipro, on my way to Donbas for the first time. He heard us speak English, and he said, "Can I help?" Well, you know, I now know his sister, Alina, his mom, and more often than not, I try to go by just to say hi. But I'm kind of scared to ask him for help because he'll never charge me, and he's just so busy. Maxime has a son and a daughter, and they're in Poland with his wife. He can't go to Poland. The men under 65 aren't allowed to leave without special dispensation. I remember once I had to get my tires changed late at night, same old thing. Maxime helped me. You settle down, you. When he first showed me pictures of his family, big crocodile tears. So I wasn't sure if I was never going to show this before, but I was asked to film a special video for Canmore, Alberta, for a fundraiser. And the fundraiser was for medical efforts in Ukraine and refugees in Canada, in Alberta, which is the richest province in Canada. And I got very angry. You know, we're dying here every day, people, but you want me to fundraise for refugees. And it took me many days to think how I was going to do that video. So I had to think about my friend Alex, who's an army doctor, on a position right now. And then I think of people like Maxime. You know, that's Dnipro. You heard his phone go off. Missile warning. You know,
Alex never gets to see his family, if they were in Ukraine or not. He's in the army. He's seen his parents for an hour. Yulia, in my last position, she's from Kharkiv. She's not seen her kids for 5 months. But imagine how hard it is for Maxim, who's in Dnipro every day with his mum. But he just wants his family to be safe. And he carries on, and he volunteers with the army. Mechanics are like doctors. So I'm going to show you that video, and maybe it conveys my feelings. And I'll finish it with that. Thanks. This used to be a house a family lived in. Not anymore. Houses over 20 soldiers. A lot of these things you won't know. That's a common one here. Dexamethasone for concussions. Artillery. We use a lot of that. Here's one that you might have heard about a lot in Canada. And with all the aid boxes that come in, children draw these pictures for us. And not one of them are discarded on any medical point. Yuli, I love you. Good morning, Canmore. What you just seen was the house I live in for almost a month now. It's a medical point where I've known the most peace I've known in a long time. Men with mild concussions, frostbite, colds, flus, they'll come spend anywhere from 3 to 10 days with us, and they'll get well, and they'll go back out in the line. The head nurse, Yuli, who you've seen there, she's from Kharkiv. She has a son, 5, another one 6 years old, and she hasn't seen them in 5 months. I want you to remember that. Now, my name is Brandon Mitchell. I grew up in Miramichi, New Brunswick. I served in the Canadian Army and the British Army. And in between, I spent some months in Alberta as well. I'm a member of Hospitaler's Medical Battalion, which was formed in 2014. And our job is to support Army Medical. I've been all over the country on different fronts. I've spent the vast majority of my time in Donbas. Recently, I did an interview with Chris Brown from CBC. Many people say I'm very compelling. When I'm asked to speak for support for medical efforts in Ukraine, I'll talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime. This is the first time I was ever asked to speak in support of refugees. And I thought to myself, why should I speak about refugees? Why do they need support? I came here in early March. I was living in Sweden. There was 5 of us that came and joined Hospitalieri Medical Battalion, and I'm the last one left. What could a refugee want for in Europe, or if they're lucky enough to go to Canada, let alone Alberta, Canada's richest province? What could they want for that should come before us in Donbas? But I had to think about that. For 3 months of the war, I served with 1st Armoured Brigade on the Zaporizhia line. Their commander of medical served United Nations missions with Canadians and many others, and he was very proud of this in Lebanon, in Yemen. But one of the doctors under him, his name's Alex. He's a good friend of mine as well. He has a wife and a son. And at the beginning of this war, they went to Germany. Could just as easily be Canada. Alex comes from Dnipro. His parents are still in Dnipro, but his wife and son are in Germany. This war has been going for almost a year. Alex has not seen his wife and his son, but he's only seen his parents for 2 hours. Dnipro is subject to missile attacks every night. Every week people die in Dnipro. But Alex's wife and his son are safe. When we have signal on our phones, and then later the Starlinks came in, Alex would FaceTime. He FaceTimes every night with his wife, with his son, who now speaks pretty good German. It's amazing how fast kids learn, and I imagine a lot of the Ukrainian kids are learning English very fast. They're taken care of. So when I say I'm not concerned about refugees, I am. There's so many soldiers, so many doctors, medics, ambulance drivers. Their families are not in Ukraine. They're in Europe, or if they're lucky enough to go to Canada, to go to Alberta, the richest province in Canada, that has the best roads, hospitals, schools. When I went to Alberta for a brief period of time, as many people from the Maritimes do, some stay and make a life. In the early 2000s, what Maritimers called the Welcome to Alberta check, $650. I had a job my second day in Edmonton. I'm not shy to hardships, but if an immigrant can't make it in Alberta, they can't make it anywhere. And the people are very hospitable. Give those Ukrainians who come to you, give them a point in the right direction and a warm embrace, and they're going to be just fine. If you want to support Army Medical, I'm a combat medic. I've served on stabilization points, makeshift hospitals, like this house. Medical needs are very complex, and it seems only 2 months ago here in Donbas, for the frontline medics and the Kazakh routes that I would work, we were short of pain management, fentanyl, ketamine, the chest seals for holes and punctures, the tourniquets. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore. More often I'm hearing from people, the needs are further in the rear. It seems like we're always chasing yesterday's war. In the hospitals in Dnipro, maybe even in Kiev, the more complex the supplies are, the further down the point of care. I myself was wounded in Soledar. I survived. I drove over 2 mines in August. I have permanent brain damage, I'm told, and I've lost the hearing in my right ear. I've personally seen from the battlefield to Kramatorsk, to Dnipro, to the medical train to Kiev. I spent a month in hospital. In Kiev, I seen men with amputations, or men that look fine like me but are infinitely much worse. I don't even know how to address the problem, but we address it every day. I can only tell you my own personal experience. I have seen no help from the Red Cross. I'm not saying they aren't here, but I have not seen it. I have seen their Land Cruisers parked outside the Intercontinental Hotel in Kiev, along with NBC, CNN. But you don't see them where we are. Doctors Without Borders, they come out, not that far, but they do. All the medical efforts that I have seen and witnessed, what I've had in my hands, they tend to come from the Rotary clubs in America, Canada, across Europe, the Lions Club, 4-H Club, whatever. Small groups of concerned people or individuals. They raise $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. And you know what they send us? They send us what we ask for. They send us what we need, not what they can get a tax deduction for, what they already have in their supplies. So often that's what I've seen here in Ukraine. Not what we asked for, but just what people send. No, I think there's enough gauze and bandage in Ukraine to last the next 5 wars now. But if you're going to consider supporting us today, follow Lisa's leads, follow her friends' leads, people who have done this before. They send us what we need. And I want to thank you all for coming today. I don't really know what else to say, but it does make me proud. I grew up in Canada. Most recently, I don't watch the news. I don't know the wider plan, but I know that Canada sent 200 armored vehicles. I think they're called a Rochelle. I've seen many of them, from Bakhmut to Kramatorsk. I see them everywhere. One of my friends was in one 2 weeks ago in Bakhmut, and it took a direct hit from the Russians. The vehicle was destroyed, but all 4 men lived and walked out of it. That's the stuff we really need. But I want to thank you for your support in any way you're willing, and for those armored carriers. It really made me proud to be Canadian. I shouldn't say this, but I don't think I'll get in trouble in front of an Alberta audience, but with those armored carriers, at least Trudeau got something right. Thank you.